If you think about what a name is, it really is our closest identity that connects to the outside world. A name is something that you carry from birth to death. It's something that you hold within your life. It's how people identify you. And for a lot of us, our names gives us a sense of place. My name is Judy Lee, and I'm a narrative artist, and I focus on community-centered social justice projects that share the stories of marginalized people. I immigrated to America when I was 6 years old, and when I registered for school to start first grade, myself, my brother, and my cousins gave them our Korean names, and the woman who was registering us decided just to assign us our American names. So my Korean name is Yeonju, and she took the sound Ju and decided to call me Judy. My feelings about my name have evolved over the years. When I was little, I loved it because it helped me not stick out. So at the time, I was grateful to have an American name. And as I got older, I realized that this name didn't feel like it belonged to me. It didn't feel like me. I never resonated with it. It's taken me a really long time, honestly a lifetime, for me to finally think about what this name means to me. And it's not just about the name, but it's about my sense of self and identity and who I am. One of the things that I wanted to do was help myself process my name story and my name journey. And I really believe there's no greater way to do that than to connect with community and hear from other people who also are on a similar journey. My Name Story is a portrait video project that tells the stories of Asian Americans and our names. And we use those names to explore themes of race, gender, and ultimately belonging. And the project really is an exploration of identity, especially for Asian Americans, because in America, we're typically seen as foreigners. We're always a perpetual foreigner. And to figure out how do we develop our identities within that context.
The name Jeannie, I remember my mother telling me that, okay, this is the name you're gonna have to go by when you start school. I didn't speak English going into school initially, and this is how I had to introduce myself with this very foreign name. Still, when I say the name Jeannie, there is like a disconnect from it, but I could outlive this name. I could outgrow and I could be bigger than the history of this name.
Changing my name was a way of reclaiming myself and my life, not for anyone's purpose, but for my own purpose of existing and being here at this time, in this place. I feel like I'm really doing what I'm meant to be here to do, which is creating art to heal myself, but not only myself, but also others.
My kids are one of the reasons why I chose to speak out and chose to share my story, because I want them to be proud of their heritage, of their history, and I don't want them to ever feel like they're being put in the same position that I was, where they need to shrink to fit into small spaces. So this is a reminder to them that they can be loud, be proud, and this is a reminder to me that even though one chapter has closed, I can have a new beginning.
Every story is very different, but the overall lesson that I've learned from doing this project is that ultimately you have to find belonging to yourself. You have to figure out what's right for you, and that journey is lifelong. And there's not always going to be an easy answer. Sometimes it's really complicated. Sometimes you don't know the answer, and that's okay. I think what matters is that you're on that journey and that you're willing to be open. Being Asian American in this country, we're oftentimes portrayed in a very monolith way. And I think it's really important for us to have stories and narratives that center on us, like for our own gaze, and to make sure that we are representing this vast diaspora of Asian Americans who come from many different places, many different backgrounds, span so many different cultures and history and experiences. And it's really important for us to bring those stories to light, because representation matters and our stories matter, and ultimately our stories are American stories.